Does adding coconut oil to rice make it have fewer calories? Does it reduce your blood sugar spike after eating it? We're going to find out. I have here a bag of white grain rice. I have here unrefined coconut oil. I have here, the benefit provided by my employer, a continuous glucose monitor. So I am going to do the following experiment. I'm going to cook 2 cups of rice. First, one with just water, and next one mixed with a little bit of coconut oil. I believe, I'm going to make sure I get the measurement right, but I believe it's 2 teaspoons to cook it with, and then I'm going to refrigerate both. And then on separate days, when I wake up, I'm going to measure my blood glucose, eat the rice, take a measurement 30 minutes after and 1 hour after. So we're going to compare the rice cooked with water to the rice cooked with coconut oil. The idea being online, I've read and I now can confirm to some extent, there are always going to be confounding variables, but I've read that mixing coconut oil with rice when you cook it and then refrigerate it causes the coconut oil to bond with some of the starches in the rice, making it harder to digest. At least that's my lay person's understanding of the situation. This could have great portents for someone who is insulin sensitive, someone who might be diabetic, or someone like me who just wants to eat a lot of food and have fewer calories for doing so. So I'm going to cook the rice now and then report back with the results. I'll see you guys on the first meal, which will be probably the rice without the oil in. Anyway, see you there. Alright, so I've got my handy dandy 1 cup here, and I'm just gonna go into this bag here and grab myself a roughly 1 cup measurement of the rice and dump it into my fancy pants rice cooker. And then I'm going to go right here into the sink that's full of junk and put some water in it. But you don't need to see that because I can't do both at the same time because I'm incompetent. Alright, our rice is in there. I'm going to put the lid on. I'm going to plug this sucker in. And I didn't specify earlier, the reason we refrigerate it before cooking it is because this chemical process of the oil bonding to the rice takes place over the span of like 12 hours. Did I say microwave? I meant refrigerate. Over the 12 hours of refrigeration. If you eat it right afterwards, it will not have taken place yet, according to the literature I have read anyway. So, yeah. Alright, the first batch of rice is done. So I'm going to transfer it from the rice cooker to the square container. That is, the rice cooked just in water is going in the square container. Kent, this is for your memory. The rice that was cooked with water is in the square container. I think I will remember. I'd put my coconut oil nice and close to this rice cooker so that it might warm up a bit, thus hopefully softening it, because at around 76 degrees that stuff starts to melt and I didn't want to have too tough a time with it. So give me 1 second and we'll start the second batch. I will say, I didn't rinse this rice because the effect that the oil is supposed to have is on the starch, and so why would I want to remove the starch? I don't know. That's just my thought process. Maybe it's flawed. Also, what was I going to say? I don't remember what I was going to say, so I guess I'll come back to it. Okay, so I remember the thought I was having that I had forgotten while I scooped the rice. I can tell you, I realized 1 cup of uncooked rice equals 2 cups of cooked rice, which is a ton. However, for the sake of this experiment, I suppose a large amount of food will make the differences, if any, more pronounced. So I've unplugged the rice cooker. If this thing would focus, there we go. You will see that I am pouring the rice into the rice cooker for our second batch. And this thing's probably too hot to touch, so actually, yes. And then somehow I'm going to turn on my now conspicuously empty sink and fill the water to the appropriate level. I didn't even bother washing this thing because it's just starch. So, sorry for my very amateur filming skills. It's about the result, not the, let's see, I'm having trouble seeing the marker. Alright, dumping in some water. And we're almost there. Alright, got it. That's about right for 1 cup. Now, the correct amount of coconut oil is going to be 2 teaspoons. So I've got here my teaspoon. And let's make sure it's, 1 teaspoon. My softened, refined coconut oil, because you want it to not taste like coconut. So it's a little bit heaping, but it should be fine as long as I get it in there. 1, and I'm going to require the use of my finger to get it in there. Messy job, messy work. And it doesn't matter, I'm the one eating it. So I'm going to actually try and level this off a little. Yeah, really. I washed my hands before this too, because I emptied my sink out, so I had to. I'm touching food after all. Anyway, so that's in there. It will cook up with the rice once I plug the doohickey back into the Walmajig there, and we set it back to cook, and we grab the lid, and yeah, once it's back, I will put it in the circle container and put that stuff in the fridge. I'm also going to wash off my ladle there just so that we don't cross-contaminate. So, yeah, I will see you when we begin to eat this stuff. Okay, good morning. So it is the next morning. I woke up a few minutes ago. I have my rice in the square container, which was cooked just with water. So I'm going to take a reading of my blood glucose right now, and I'm going to share it with y'all. We stand at 101. I'll take a screenshot of that as well, make sure it's all clear on the video. And yeah, I have a timer set on my watch. The second I take the last bite, I'll set a 30-minute timer, take a reading then, another 30-minute timer after that, take another reading. I'm only drinking water, just trying to remove any confounding variables. So that's a ton of rice, so I think it will exaggerate the results a little, show the difference anyway, if there are differences to be seen. Anyway, bon appetit. Alright, so I just took the last bite of that. I'm going to change the protocol a little and take a blood glucose reading right now, right after I finish, to see how it's changed. Oh, don't be a bitch. It's gonna be a bitch, of course. Come on. Yeah. There we go. So, barely changed at all, 113. I'm going to start my 30-minute timer right now, and the battery on my camera is about to die, so I'm going to cut the video here, and I'll see you all after this timer expires. Alright, timer's going off. Let's see where we stand with blood sugar. This has been 30 minutes. I will set another 30-minute timer after we take this measurement, and we'll go from there. Blood sugar skyrocketed to 194. I know that wasn't clear in there. I'll take a screenshot. Makes sense. That was a ton of bland rice. And it's great that I'm working out after this. We're going to see tomorrow. I think it won't be quite as high. But, yep, 30 more minutes on the clock right now. We'll see where it stands. And I'm not going to do too much physical activity because I also kind of want to see how my body handles it. And a whole lot of physical activity definitely curbs a blood sugar spike. So we're trying to make everything as even as it can be. So see y'all in 30 more minutes. I was surprised to see it so high. All right, 1 hour has passed. Thank goodness. Time to take one more reading. I actually have a very slight headache and feel a little weird. And this thing's going to fight me again. Sometimes it likes to fight me. And I think it's just wearing out because I've had it for this. Make sure that reading was good. Come on. Come on. There we go. So, 139. The peak has passed. I will take a screenshot. I don't think it's coming in clearly there. So, I don't think the reading right after I finished eating was really worth anything. We saw that it went up a bit, but like I went from 101 to 194, and now I'm down to 139 with a very slight headache because that was a giant peak. I'm now going to go work out to try and do something with all this sugar I took in. Pro tip, don't eat 2 cups of rice in one sitting, but we're going to do it again tomorrow to see what the difference is with the oil-cooked rice. See you then. Good morning. It is day 2 of this lovely experiment we are doing. I have here the cooked rice in front of me that has been cooked with the, I misspoke before, refined coconut oil. You want refined, so it does not taste like coconut. If you get unrefined, it will taste like coconut. But I'm going to take a reading now of my blood sugar once I find the app. I was kind of wanting to do more experiments. This was the first one that came to mind, though, and this thing's fighting me. But I'm running out of time with this thing, so yes, I know. Come on, scan the blippity. Alright, so it's almost exactly the same as yesterday after a full night's sleep. I am at 104. Don't know how well that came up, but again, I've taken screenshots. So yeah, we're going to see the difference. I am a little surprised at how much my blood sugar shot up with yesterday's rice, but it was 2 cups and it was just pure carbs and no fiber, so I guess it makes some sense. So, we'll see you right after, and then 30 minutes after that, and then 30 minutes after that. Once again, just water. Alright, I just took my last bite, and I'm still chewing it. Well, let's do this. Chewing done. I'm not going to take a screenshot of this one, because I didn't yesterday, but why is this giving me so much trouble? Now it's going to say error. Doesn't even try. Just try. There we go. 107, so it went up 3 points. I believe it was 114 yesterday. I'm going to start my timer right now for 30 minutes, and we'll see where I stand at that time. All right, moment of truth. Timer is done. Let's see what my blood sugar is. I'm not going to take any annoying chances here. Let's just get the reading. 157. So I'm not going to say this constitutes proof, but again, I've taken screenshots. They will show up on the video. The spike is definitely not as sharp as it was yesterday, because we went from roughly the same baseline to 190 something yesterday, and it's still a sizable spike in blood sugar, but not nearly as profound. So I just started my other 30-minute timer. Let's see what happens 30 minutes from now. Interesting result. All right, 1 full hour has passed. Let's take the final reading of this experiment. I'm at 141. So, screenshotting. So yeah, I think it's clear that the spike in glucose definitely was reduced by using the coconut oil. What portents does this have? I imagine the idea that it reduces the amount of calories that you're able to receive from the food is either lower or it just digests more slowly. Either way, if you're insulin resistant or you're just trying not to have these giant peaks and valleys in your blood sugar, this might be an option for you, or you could just not eat rice. Again, this was 2 cups of rice each day. Like, well, 1 cup, but when it's cooked, it pretty much doubles in size, so 2 cups cooked, which is a lot of rice. So if you're eating a normal human-sized portion alongside something else, you're going to see a smaller bump. So yeah, pretty cool experiment. I'm glad the results panned out, and that's how I'm going to be cooking my rice going forward. Just a few more small thoughts before I bring this video to a close. While I've had this, I can tell you diet soda does not cause a spike in blood glucose. I drink a ton of it, and throughout the day, I've been able, the past 2 weeks, to see where my blood sugar stands, and it's pretty much flat. It doesn't spike until I eat something, and that's with aspartame, sweetened soda, and sucralose. So if you're ingesting any of those, you don't have to worry about it messing with your blood sugar. Can't speak to the other health side effects of those, and like I said earlier, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a dietitian, I'm just showing you what my little experiment yielded, and I thought it would be an interesting video, so I hope you all enjoyed it. I certainly did, because I've learned a little bit more. I wish I had this for a little longer, because I have apple cider vinegar as well, and I'd love to do the same experiment with a smaller amount of rice, but like both, 2 portions cooked with water, and then eating one before apple cider vinegar and one after having apple cider vinegar to see if that affects the blood sugar spike. That's been studied, so I'm sure it actually would. But it's cool to see, test it out for yourself. Anyway, thanks for being here. Let me know what you think. Add a comment if you want. And see you next time. Be there for Extra Life, because that's coming up 2nd of November. Here comes the dog. I better go.